going on, guys? Luke here from Mr. Crypto UK, bringing you episode 5 of the mini-series. Going to touch over the markets today and talk about one of the coins or tokens that I hold and explain why I hold it. So, I apologise for if there's a loud sound coming from the side of me. The washing machine is just the most loud. It's like a monster. It's just loud. I think it's fine. I did a test and it didn't come up. But yeah, let's crack on with the video. So, looking at today's market, we actually can see that it's down. Most of them are down, not anything stupid. VeChain's actually still up a little bit after yesterday's video, but it did go to $2.50, and I did say I would look to buy at like 198. I don't know why I picked that number; it just sounded cool. Binance coin usually does well when the others don't, but the rest down. The reason that is because that the Winklevoss twins, if you don't know who they are. If you ever seen the social media, like the film about Facebook, do you remember those twins that like created Facebook because of their idea, and then he basically just ripped it off them and created their own version, and then Mark Zuckerberg created his own version? That's the twins, and they actually created their own. Well, they started their own exchange called Gemini back in like 2012 or something, or 11. So you know these guys know what they're talking about. And didn't they settle out of court for like $300 million or something? For the whole Facebook thing, so yeah, you sort of get the gist. So these guys are pretty well known within knowing what sort of early adopters in certain things that are going to be big in the future, which is reassuring, I guess, in terms of crypto, because they got in so early compared to what we this is about 6, 7, 8 years ago, and they got in then. It was just crazy. So the reason is that they had some sort of ETF that they wanted. They basically put forward to Congress or whatever they do. But it got rejected, so this is like a little bit of a pullback. Just, yeah. So, but nothing too crazy, it's just a little bit. But when there's bad news or something gets declined, normally there's a little bit of a sort of a pullback on here. But what I want to actually talk about is actually I found another exchange, not exchange, sorry, a website called coinpaprika.com. It's basically, it's a little bit, it's sort of the same as CoinMarketCap, but it has more information, like sort of accessible to you straight off. I mean, that's VeChain in the last 7 days, pretty high. But you can get a bit more visual information straight off the bat. There's ICOs here. It shows you how much they're actually getting, how much they've been invested in ICOs and stuff, and how far they are. But I'm going to talk about one of the coins that I actually hold. Now I hold a ridiculous amount of these. Like, they're really cheap. I'm going to actually just double check on Binance. I mean, I obviously bought them when they were more than this because everything's pretty low. Nothing too crazy, I think. If we just, I'll get off this, we'll go on to this. We'll go on here. So basically, they're called NCASH or Nucleus Vision. They're 144. Okay? And they're at like all-time lows because a lot of the slightly less well-known ones are all-time lows. But if we go to the here, so this is what it looks like. It's sort of been at basically it's been at like half a penny. This is in dollars as well. So yeah, half a penny there, and it's now at 1.23. But that's fine. Like this is not a This is one of the projects I've invested in, which is not even to do like it's irrelevant what it even is for the next year. Even in a year, if it's still this, I don't, it's only at the end of 2019, 2020, 2021, I think, that their full sort of project is going to be realised and in action and all that sort of thing. So they're not doing a huge amount at the moment. They are doing some, so they actually have a real-world use case for what they're doing. It's being adopted, but not in any noticeable volume, whatever you want to say. But I'll explain what they do. So I actually hold 24,313 of these. So yeah, but I'm just going to leave them for a couple of years, and if they're worthless, they're worthless. It's it's basically one of the more like risky coins or tokens that you would sort of invest in, because it could be $3, for example, in 3 to 5 years. It's one of those coins, but it's something you would not really invest in unless it's like a little bit extra. So you've done your main investments and you're just looking to put a little extra in something for a sort of, let's see what happens. So we're going to go and see what they actually do. So this is them. This is it. Can you tell who entered your store? We can, yeah. Can you tell onto your office? So what they are is, well, I'll play the video, okay? It's probably going to be a bit, it's only like a minute and a half, minute 44, and it'll be a little easier for you to understand what they do and why I really like them. So we're just going to play this.
What's the central, most important part of your life? Is it an object? A movement? What forms the basis for your activity, your growth?
Hey, had a big day. I saw some things I really liked online, but I don't know what they look like on me. I saw your profile. Yeah, right. Right. Take a look at me. What do you think? Sit right there. I liked it online. Okay, I see what you're going for. What about something more sophisticated? Like that. I'm gonna grab the top. Right? Would you like to fill it to your home? Oh man, the date's tonight. You just exchange some information. Man, I like that. Hey.
Imagine infinite possibilities for connection. What charges you up? Inner core. That's your nucleus. It's central. It's atomic. Nucleus. Connecting the unconnected.
Now, of course, that's a bit of a marketing sort of video, a little bit sort of over the top, like they all are, you know, when they're American videos. But the gist of what they do is they have a network behind the scenes that you're connected to sort of all the time. So, for example, like if it was a retail store, I think Amazon have those sort of cashierless stores where literally no one works there. You just go in, as long as you've got your Amazon Prime or Amazon Now open and logged in, it detects it. You then scan it scans what you're putting in your basket automatically, and as you walk out the store, it will charge you. So it's like a sort of, it's almost like a web, but everywhere, in the sense that it's always knowing where you're going. Obviously, that does get scary, always knowing where you are. But also, it's a good thing in terms of, it depends on the type of person you are. You're either going to adopt this or you're going to be resisting this. It's how it's always gone over hundreds and hundreds of years. Anything new is always going to have both parties. But, for example, another thing that they're doing later on in 2019, 2020 is security. So you would, on top of all this, they would have security. So if someone went to break into your house, or maybe they want to go into your, so the system is basically recognizing who and what people are by all the data it collects. So it will help, if someone breaks into your house, it will go, oh yeah, it was a text who it is through facial recognition and height and weight and lots of different variables, and it will then know that person, okay, there was a person like that was down the road buying something from the shop 20 minutes ago, and then his car is this, and that was seen 5 minutes away driving down the street and it will basically then detect, in theory, who it is that's actually broken into your house, because it would have a massive network knowing everything that's going on from everywhere. Very similar to Minority Report. Obviously, yes, it's slightly, but there's a picture being built up behind the scenes almost before it happens. So the system knows what's going to happen, or has options for what's going to happen before it happens. And it's just, to start with, it's good for more retail. So it will have, almost like a portfolio of who you are before you go in. Suggestions can be made, like you saw in the video. And yeah, it's just a really interesting sort of thing. No app, no barriers, no Wi-Fi. It's all automatic. You don't need to be logged in for it to work. It will just do it behind the scenes as you do it. And for me, it was just something that was They're already actually in a couple of stores, but you can see here this is sort of who they're working with, who they've been, you know. But another great thing is that a way to know if these sort of slightly smaller projects are going to do well is where they're listed, which is sort of a little tell of how good the project is. So you can see here, one of the first places that was actually listed was Binance, and Binance, being their own exchange, don't just list anyone. So if you go through a lot of the ranked projects, over 100, I wouldn't say that many are actually on Binance. They'd be on a lot of others like KuCoin and BTC, which normally they go on first. So they're slightly, what do you call it? They're still quite big, but they're not as big as Binance. But you can see here, these are all very small exchanges, and then bam, NCASH, Binance. And that's a very positive sign that, you know, being in the review stage at Binance would have seen, they reviewed it as being a very respectable and well-established project. They've even got use cases in some stores around America. And yeah, it was just a cool principle and concept, quite techy, you know, quite futuristic. But actually, you can see why it would be a good project, because once it's piggybacked on one industry, it will then piggyback on the others, and a lot of them complement each other. So you know, like security, and then cars. So obviously, like I was going in my example, like I was explaining, and the more systems it linked to, or the more industries it linked to, the better it would actually become. So almost like the world was its oyster in terms of what it could potentially do. And of course, yes, there'll probably be other things that come out that are doing a similar thing, like there is for every single project. There's normally another one or a couple. But this was, you know, I invested in this in maybe February when it came out, I think. And for me, it was just a cool thing. I think I put in like $400, so £350. Yeah, it's a little bit more than maybe like 100, but it's one of those that I'm going to leave and see what happens, you know, and that is why I'm doing it, because yeah, you can invest in all the sort of proper ones, top 5, top 10, but also I feel like you want to have a little bit of fun while you're doing it as well. You know, you can be as serious as you want, but if you don't enjoy it and don't have a little bit of fun with it, will you be there for the really long run? And yes, there will be some people that are, but also it's nice to have something, you know, a little, almost like when you're doing the lottery. Yeah, you can go and put, you know, do a blackjack, we go in black and red. But it's nice to do something where the chances of getting it could be anything. It's just nice. And I have only done it with this one. So Nucleus Vision is the only one I've actually, you know, invested in that's sort of below the 50s. There are others that I did, but I cashed out a while ago. So this is the only one I actually hold now that's sort of below rank 100. And it's just one that I thought I'd bring your attention to, because it is a lot of cryptos these days haven't actually got any real world use case, because they're still in their early stages. And this has actually already got some sort of implementation across some US stores in retail and stuff like that, which is nice that they're slightly ahead of what others may be. But yeah, I'm not going to go into too much more. You know, I've done 13 minutes, 14 minutes here. So yeah, hopefully you had a cool little video there just to show one of the cryptos that isn't in the top 10 or whatever. And yeah, just to broaden your horizons on what's out there in the crypto world and the crypto space. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Smash a thumbs up, subscribe, comment for any future videos that you want, or maybe you want me to talk about another crypto. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.